Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with Coach Caren all the way from Toronto, Canada. The coach is in the house. We are so excited when she comes to see us because she is here to help us with our money in our personal life and in our business life and to get our mind wrapped around how this thing works. so, coach is in the house. So, my question is, do you have your pencil and pen?
Because we're gonna be
You
diving in, guys, this month. This
need,
month is such an exciting month,
You
guys.
need to have your pencil, your notebook, your iPad, whatever it is. Press record on your phone, whatever you need to do, because this is going to be a treat. We're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to our hearts. And I'm going to let the coach introduce us to the subject, but I just want you to know you're going to want to capture these nuggets. So without further ado, I present to some, introduce to others, Coach Caren Fern, your money mindset coach, all the way from Toronto, Canada. Coach.
Hi, Terry. Thank you. Thank you for the intro. And yes, I'm so excited to bring this to you guys today. Okay. I'm excited. And first, I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to tell you the subject line.
Okay.
So I'm excited to bring to you because in August, I am going to be presenting. This actually is a full-blown program. It's going to be a 4-month program, purpose, passion, and profit margins. It is, I tell you, when a friend of mine asked, "Karen, you always come with some names." I'm like, girl, it's just given
That's
to
right.
me. I searching, I am planning, and I want it to be embodied what I teach, and it just covers it. It just covers it. So all this month, we're going to be talking strictly about your passion. All
Okay.
of this month, we're going to be talking about your passion. And then July, we're going to talk about purpose. And then leading into August, we'll talk a little bit about profit margins. And so you guys going to get a taste of what's going to be expected to happen in that program. It's going to be fire. We're going to deal with stuff. We're going to mash up some stuff
Oh
and get it
no.
done. So we're doing a little taste of it. And so we're going to talk about these areas today. We're going to talk about creation. That's for today. And so for the rest of the month, we're going to keep going. Then we're going to talk about health. We're going to talk
Mm,
about community service. We're going to talk about relationships, and we're going to talk about relaxation. We're going
wow.
to cover all of this in passion because sometimes we feel guilty. We push it to the side. We're afraid to understand that this is part of what should happen. This morning, I was putting on a little bit of lipstick, and this is how God has done poor things on me. The thought came to me about a professor I had in college. He was my psych professor. I had him for a year. And I told him, I said, "You were supposed to be here at the time I'm here. I don't know about anybody else." And, because he was giving us a little snippet of his story. Finished university, was going to open a practice. He and his wife had everything ready to go. And boom, she got pregnant. And he said, so it felt like everything that he worked so hard for and she and him worked so hard for got washed away. Not because they didn't want a child, but they weren't ready yet. At least that's what they thought. But life shown them why that child had to be born over time and why it was right on time and not their time. It was a godly
Okay.
guy, so we could have talked those talks, and why he had to become professor because he had touched so many lives in there, myself included. What a gem of a guy to teach. He just really brings out and lets you examine things that you wouldn't think about. I love them so much for that. And I said, thank God that we got you. And I'm saying all of this because sometimes there's things that we feel and we think we shouldn't feel it, when in fact, we should be embracing it and understand it's part of what needs to happen to get you to the other place. All right?
Mhm.
That's what I'm going to say. Leave it there, and then we're going to dive into what we're doing today. And I'm going to show
I
you.
want you to know Cecilia is in the house, and
Hi, Cecilia.
I'm sure she has her has her pencil and pen out.
And the first thing everybody says is start. To start, how do you find your passion? Is it a natural thing that just happens to everyone?
Mm.
And what do you do with it once you find it? Well, some people don't find their passion right away. And so if you are feeling, so this is the part, if you're feeling out of whack and you don't know what's happening, that journey, those experiences is there for you to find it if
Mm.
you're not one of the people who like this, I found my passion. And let me also make this clear. When people say, I know what I want to be, I know what I'm going to be, and they've been saying this since they're small, that doesn't mean that that's their true passion. It could be the thing that make them look good to people. It could make it look like they know what they're doing. It could make them feel for themselves. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it, that it's pleasing
Mm-hmm.
some authoritative figure. And that's why that's their passion, because it fit neatly into whatever that seems to look like. I remember talking to this young guy, and he is very bright and he wants to write, and he's scared about writing. And he and his dad took a locksmithing course, and he said, I'm just going to be a locksmith. If everything else fails, I'll be a locksmith.
Mm.
And so eventually he ended up getting a full-time job. And I asked him one, I said, do you love doing what you do? And he says, I want to write, but I really enjoy the intricacy of fixing a lock, understanding how everything clicks
Oh,
together. you know and he doesn't want to tell anybody because it doesn't look like this great thing his parents had for him, the thing that was going to make him shine in their eyes. But
yes.
for him, understanding big office building locks and those big safes, and understanding why a key would do certain things, those things excite him
Oh,
in a way that it's like, locksmithing, you just come and fix my lock? No. But once we got into talking about it and he started talking, I could see in his face how because I
you
was
love
willing
the
to listen.
puzzle of the whole thing.
Yes, yes. And I told him, I said, when you're ready, this is going to make you a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
If you truly want to write, it's going to feel strange to people to hear that you fixing locks and you're a writer. But it's exactly where you need to be. When you're ready, you're going to write because you understand how puzzles work. And writing is about character. It's about understanding what the person is going to do and feeling it. You have to be in the moment of it. When
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing, I am the girl at the time or the guy. If this is what needs to happen, because when we're in there, I can do everything that he's doing. I can have that feeling of what he's doing, of what
Mm.
she's doing. I'm right there with them. We're having fun with it. So I said to him, when you're ready to write, you're going to write. But you're in a place right now where, even though we'd like him to because he's young, he if he don't feel he's ready, he can't write. So allowing himself to be involved in this passion at the moment is what's going
Mm.
to get him to where he needs to be. And so sometimes this is how we find our passion, by going on this journey that makes absolutely no sense to
Mm.
us. Because
Oh,
remember, how God thinking about things, it's not how we think about it. So it makes no sense to us for us to get over on the other side. Now let's look at the people who actually, say, well, no, that's not true. At some point, this is why I want to make sure you hear this. This is why some people start out as a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, whatever. And then in the midst of that, they're like, this is not what I want to do.
I've heard people say that.
Not everybody, but lots of people. This is not what I want to do. Now, I love being a doctor. I love remote, but this is not what I want to do. When my daughter was in the hospital for nearly a year, I had this young doctor. He was just excited and want to be there and whatever. And because we meet so often, we develop like a human relationship. And
Yeah.
one day we're talking, he goes, I just want to write articles about strange illnesses and how we capture it, how we figure it out, give people credit for the people who help along the way. And my mom says, Karen, you just have a way of pulling things out of people that don't even know they're telling you stuff.
When you just relax and have a conversation, things come out.
Yeah.
And because of what we do, we see value in it. We and Biz Chicks, we see ways to make it profitable.
Hmm.
So I understand how those conversations happen, Mom.
Just come out. And And the more we talk about it, so I said to him one day, I said, you're good on the team, so I'm not gonna ask you what you're doing here because you're really interested in
Yeah.
helping her. Well, what's next? He goes, well, I mean, like I'm like, no, what's next? I mean, it took him a week, and then he said, I figure out what's next.
Mm.
He said, I'm going back to school, but
Okay.
not traditionally. I'm going back to this training that is, once you're a doctor and you serve a couple of years, you could apply for this specific training where it helps you to work in the same thing we talk about. Now, he says, Karen, I had this in my head. I wasn't exploring it. But since our conversation, I start trying to figure out how am I going to be able to do this? Because you keep
Get
telling me
it
I can do
done.
it.
Yeah. How to get it done. Yes.
Yeah, and he did transition into we lost it like a week before Petra left, but he came back to see us. He used to keep me informed of all his writing and stuff, even after she was out of the hospital. Like, we used to correspond and stuff. And then the last time I heard from him, he told me he was leaving Toronto because he had to travel to for more research and stuff. I was so happy that he was living within what he wanted to do. He was there eating it up. I know God is going to allow him to touch so many lives because of what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
because of the research he's doing. Pernicious edema, it's not something that a lot of research goes into. Most people used to die from it.
Mm.
And most people are either handicapped, they're in a wheelchair, they lose limbs, legs pull up. Petra had none of that. She did have the brain injury, but she didn't get any of those things, and that's because we really work fast. But he's using the case study to help people see this earlier, look at the symptoms, understand how it's looking just like something else,
Mm.
And so those are the things he's going to write about and research about. So thank you, God, that he find that thing that lights him up.
Yes.
Lights him up.
And see, I hear people talk about this all the time. You should be working in your passion, and the way I describe it is do what makes you smile.
For sure. For sure. For sure. And so if you don't have your passion right away,
Hmm.
just understand you might be journeying towards it, or it's right there, developing, moving, growing. And when you least expect, then it happens. Because everything we're doing, we're creating. We're creators. You might say, well, I'm not creative. I'm not art. You are creating whatever it is you're creating. My mom used to say this all the time. And I would say to her, your creation is food. Because when she or my grandmother, when they give you a plate of food, you're admiring the food. I've grown up with my food, no matter how poor we was, put on a plate like I went dining. So
So she is a food artist.
yes, and I said that's where your creativity lies. Just because it's not, the thing art or painting, that's not what it is. You have a sense of coloring, you have a sense of
Mhm.
size, symmetric. You know where things should lie, where things should go. My grandmother was really good at salads. Her thing wasn't food, but when she created a salad for you on a plate, you're like, wait, what? I remember the first time I saw it. I was like, wow, you could do this with cucumber and lettuce and tomatoes and it was
You
pretty.
know, well, Coach, Cecilia says, great topic. Still not sure of my passion. So, she is struggling evidently with this whole topic of what is your passion? How can we help her?
Cecilia, and you and I talked before. You know your passion, but I think part of Cecilia knowing her passion, and sometimes that's how it happens. When you know your passion, and you reach a certain age, no matter if we don't want to talk about it,
Hmm.
you think you can go after your passion
Oh, okay.
because
You
sometimes your
think,
passion is not tangible enough according to
mhm.
society to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, you can't hold, you touch it. Because if you say my passion is to care for people, with Cecilia, love caring for people. If your passion is caring for people, you're like, how am I going to do it and still be paid to pay my bills? Because this
Mhm.
is a reality, and you guys know I talk reality. Like, how
And
do
your
I do
passion
this?
should support you.
Yes. And so because traditionally your passion is about, if you have a caring passion, is either being a nurse, a doctor, anything in the caring hospitality field, it is sometimes hard to see that you can do those same things differently. You
Mm-hmm.
can do those same things differently. So in Cecilia case, I don't know if you have the time, but I really encourage you to, and I told you this before, really sit down and write down a list of all the things that you're good at, you think you're good at, or you feel you're great at. Like, you need to go down the journey. You need to go down this journey road, because when you do, you have developed so many inside of you, but you hadn't taken the time yet to go in and explore it, to pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
There is people who I know who started out voluntarily, who all they do, I met this lady, is go and read to people at a hospital. This is how she started her care in business. She
Mm-hmm.
treated people voluntarily. And while she was doing it, she got two clients this way. One of the clients, because I know this through a friend of mine, so this is real, who said, my mom missed you when you left the hospital. And me and my husband is busy, and my siblings, not because we don't want to see her, but she's always asking for you. How much hours a week you think you can spare? We don't want you to clean, we don't want you to cook, we just want you to come in and
And
read
read.
and fix puzzles or what have you. And that's where she found her passion. It's not the stuff that you advertise for, but she reads to seniors. You don't have to be a senior, but she reads to mainly seniors, or people who are ill for long periods of time. She helped fix puzzles with them. They go shopping together. This is a little business she developed for herself. And I know this because when it was developing, my friend called me and asked me, how much you think she should charge? Hours and stuff.
Exactly.
I deal with money and stuff. And we just made her up like three little packages. And could I tell you, she's so busy because the people recommend her to other people. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she actually was in affordability where she didn't have to worry about just the money, but eventually she would have to. And so I know if you have money set aside, it makes it a little easier to do these passion projects and get yourself in there. But you can easily start, even if it's one day a week, doing whatever it is you need to do to get you to the next one, to get you to find it. And listen, if it didn't work out for her and she didn't want to do it anymore, trust me, she has figured out things along the way that she
Mm-hmm.
likes. So eventually, she's not going to do the whole thing. She's going to pick out what she wants to do and just do that thing. Just
Mm-hmm.
be there doing that thing. So, Cecilia, whatever it is you want to do, I believe you know what it is. I believe you feel in your bones what it is. I know there's some fear happening there. And I know also that when you don't see where it's going to pay you, where you need to be, it could
Mm-hmm.
be very, very scary. This is why I asked to go in and find out all the things I just mentioned and look at where you could be. And if you need some help, and this wouldn't be a cost to you, we could talk about how we take that and what to do with it. You're always here, you're faithful client,
We'd love to do that for you.
love you. You and I talked before. Take the finances out of your brain, okay? Take about, yes, I'm a coach and I charge pretty well and I'm not expensive to some people, might be, but I am telling you that we could book some time and literally once
Mm-hmm.
you have to make that list too, and you got to go through that. So that has to be there ready for me. And then we could talk about how we take this and turn this into something.
Because when I think about Cecilia, I know she does care,
Hmm.
in-home care for people.
Yeah,
And I was just thinking, what part of that does she really love? What
I
part of
know.
it makes her smile?
Exactly,
It,
because I know
it,
that's what she does. Yeah, that's
yeah,
why I brought. That's exactly why I brought up the topic because I know what she does. Yeah.
yeah, it may not be the lifting or the
Hmm.
driving or the
Hmm.
things that may be physical. It
Hmm.
may just be the companionship,
That's it. That's it. That's
and
the first job I had when I came to Canada. I was a companion. It was not what it is today, which is person support worker in Canada. And you guys have that. It's companion. You know what I did for the first 8 months? I sat by the bed and I read the newspaper. I told him what was going on in there. My first patient was a doctor, and I would read novels and I would go in and I would tell him what happened in the novels. When I didn't show up today, his son said to me, he said, Karen, my dad looked forward to your shift because he
Mhm.
needed 24 care. He looked forward to your shift. I said he doesn't. His eyes are closed. He ignores me. He goes, "Are you kidding me?" He told me. He said, "You're reading a novel. You see, you have fun with them." That's the part that really is intriguing to you. That's the part that's intriguing to you. The fun part, not the other part. And I was reading a novel to him. Was a Harley Quinn novel. I was reading it myself. And I was telling him what happened and how the guy is arrogant and what have you. So I didn't go for 2 nights. And when I got back, he goes, "So what happened?" He goes, "Did he end up with the girl?" We used to have fun, you know. People appreciated Cecilia. Don't push this aside. Let me tell you, when he died, he left me books and he left me some money. His son says, my dad said, "Never mind what the will say. Here's what I want you to give Caren, okay? When I close my eyes, this package is for Caren." I was surprised. I was surprised. People need people. Period. And Cecilia, if having fun with somebody who is not able to go do it on their own is priceless. Do you understand, Cecilia? It's priceless. It is, I'm going to repeat, priceless. It might not feel tangible, but that feeling, I've been talking about this for years. And I remember when I first came online, people said to me, nobody want to buy feely things. People want to buy things where they can touch and do. But I know that when I do something and I feel good about it, or I do something for somebody and they feel good about it, that's the reason they return. That's the reason they come to me. They can go anywhere else. I am never the cheapest. I'm never the cheapest. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you the cheapest. I'm never the cheapest. You know, the people who went on my alteration business, they can probably get their pants repaired for $6, and I will charge 10, and I will still get those clients because when they come, we talk about the pants, we talk about the fit, we talk about life,
Mm-hmm.
and people need people.
Exactly. People want to have those conversations and that connection. So I would figure out if you like to have fun with them. I don't know what she means by that. What way? Do you like to go to outings? Do you like to,
Probably take them out on outings.
play cards or
Mhm.
sit and do puzzles or, so whatever that part of it is,
You got to
right?
carve that out for yourself.
You
Yeah.
need to have a conversation with Coach Caren.
Yeah, you need to carve that out for yourself because how the work works, it's mostly about going in and doing those things, the lifting, the cleaning, the medication giving, and that sort of thing. Versus if it's like how our, because I got friends in the field, and the ones who really enjoy it are the ones. A very close friend of mine, she does a lot of taking them out to the house, a lot of
Yes.
trips.
Oh,
Um,
see, that's what Cecilia says. Outings. So
yeah,
that's a business right there because people are paying for adult daycare.
yeah,
They would love if they're able to take field trips. They'd love to drop their mom off at the bus
yeah.
and know that they're safe for the day. And
Yes.
they will pay dearly for that.
Yes, yes. Because our we have different kinds of retirement homes in Canada here. And the ones where the judges, the doctors, and the people with money live, there's a program here called Living something. I can't remember the name out of my head. But those people, that's what they do. What Cecilia just said, that's what they do. And can I tell you, those people who work at those places that I just mentioned, their salary is $75,000 a year. Those people make good money.
So about 1,000 annually.
Yes.
Yes.
So if it's a business, they're just doing that. And the two ladies that was in charge when I worked there, one had twins, and after she had those kids and had the third kid, she quit. And I was like, Linda, what are you gonna do? She goes, I open my own recreation center doing the very same thing, double our income.
Exactly. And she didn't have to leave because she could take her children to work.
Exactly.
But the thing of it is too, if you just like the field trips, then partner with different um, facilities who
Hmm.
need to provide outings,
Hmm.
or because so much has shut down.
Yes.
um, they would love to, what do you call that, outsource it. That's the word.
Outsourcing, yes, it's a
Outsource.
little bit of work, but I tell
Mhm.
you, and that's why I said, once you pick and you understand, it's now about packaging and presenting yourself, and understanding nose is going to be in there, a lot of doors are going to close in front of you. I'm not going to wrap this up, quietly. I'm going to tell you about all the stuff that's going to happen. One of the big things about me is talking to a lot of people a lot of time. I was a dishwasher there. I always stress and tell people, don't worry your position. I was a dishwasher, the company I'm talking about. And I talked to the president, the guy who owned the building, Linda, she was in charge of the thing, all the secretaries, all the receptionists, and I conversed. That's why I could tell you this. And when they left, they opened their own places. They
Mhm.
opened their own places because this is the part of the
Exactly.
business they loved.
Exactly. And you can people love to talk about their businesses. I would find a business that models that has the business model that you want to set up, and go ask, can they spare a couple of minutes to talk to you, that you're interested in the industry and interested in, how they did this. How did you do this? People love to tell people how they got where they are.
Yes, because the journey is more exciting to listen to than that they made $100,000. The
And the
journey.
routine, the everyday routine of the
Yeah.
business. Yes.
Yes, yes. And go on YouTube in the meantime. Go to YouTube and put in what you want to know.
Hmm.
And then put aside, this is my thing, get your phone out and put aside 2 hours, and get your pen and paper and soak it in. Write up what's important to you. Write
Hmm.
up what you need to do. If they have a download, go in and download it and see the guidelines that they're walking through. See if it's anything that's interesting to you. Once you finish doing it, that is for you. I want you to find a different industry that has nothing to do with you, and then you do the very same thing. Because the way to learn, let me tell you, the way to learn is to get into things that has nothing to do with what you want to do. You learn so much by doing what you don't want to do. I am not a psychiatrist, but I took a full year of it. I learned so many
Hmm.
things about the mind. I didn't know I was going to use it these days. Let me tell you, but it was so interesting to me, and I needed some science. And I talked to my my counselor at the time, and she's like, "Karen, I think it's a better way to get in. True, this is awesome. Like, go for it, go for it." Because I'm studying criminology, I got to think about the criminals. Okay, I'm telling you, that full year, it was up and down. Yeah, I had some tears. I shed some tears. Let me not lie, because some of that stuff is hard.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was a good year.
And also, by doing things you don't want to do, you learn what it is you don't want to do.
Uh
You know what I mean?
huh.
It's like, oh no, I'm not including that in my business model because I don't like doing that, or I don't want to regulate on that.
Mm-mm.
Also, when you do that, you can find out from other people, what kind of releases do you need? What kind of
Mhm.
licenses do you need?
Yes.
All of these little things,
Yes.
um, just by saying, I'm I plan on doing these outings, for seniors. And then also you need to set the parameters, right, coach?
Yes. You
Like,
have to.
I do people with wheelchairs. I don't do people with
Yes.
wheelchairs. They need to
Yes.
be able to walk.
Yes.
They.
Yes. You have to set that up. You have to set that up. If not, you're gonna have to buy a vehicle. The kind of vehicle to accommodate those things, and that can get
Hmm.
pricey.
Hmm.
So you want to start with the people who is mobile, for sure. And then if you want to later, you can get that and hire people. Once you found it, there was the last one. Once you find it, you got to figure out what you're gonna do with it. And so it's a serious case. If you find out what you want, you're gonna have to act on it. You're gonna have to move on it. You're gonna have to do things. I have a friend that died, and it was so sad when she got sick and died because she wanted to open a retirement home. She studied, she was a social worker, but she never went and actually do it. She wanted the idea, she liked the idea of it, but the
Hmm.
hard work she didn't want to put in. And I told her, I called her out on it. She didn't like it. We didn't talk for months. She was so mad with me. I didn't care because
Well, the thing is, if you don't want to do the work, it's okay. You're just not going to live that part of the dream.
that's all.
What you need to do is figure out what part of the dream
Yes,
are you willing to work for, so that you
yes,
can concentrate on that passion point. I call it passion point. On that passion, on that passion point, because everybody doesn't want to open. a big business, or some
Exactly.
people don't want to open a small business, or
Yes.
so you have to figure out what it is. If you just like playing games with seniors,
That's
you
it.
know,
That's
hey,
it.
you can either be a
That's it.
personal gamer,
That's it. That's it.
you can be a
You just do
person.
what makes you happy. But let's not kid ourselves. If you're going to start a business, and I always want to be clear that I don't want to wrap it up in it's nice, but
Hmm.
there's parts of it that you have to know and have to understand. And for my friend case at the time, she needed grants from the government to do this, and they want to give it to her, but the government asking for a lot of paperwork. And that part, I told us to get a partner so that the partner would do that, because that's not your forte. But the reason I wanted my friend to do it because she was a sick person and she needed to be able to manage her time, and going to work was killing her. I watched
Oh,
her.
she was still working.
Yeah, and going to work was killing her. She had to come off of work because it was just too much. She had a lot of different illnesses. So she needed to do something where she can manage her time and just be there.
And she needed income.
She needed income. That's like a fact. So I agree with Terry. If all you could do the time and the income, and let me tell you about income too. The income that you want is there for you.
Hmm.
Your job is to decide on it. And I mean, decide on it. This is the part I tell people, they're like, what can I do? No, 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 you don't do. I know because I know about this. When you decide you want $3,000 a month and there's no negotiation on it, and that's net, everything you do is towards that $3,000. I don't care what's going on. You need it. You're going to do it. Everything you do is for that $3,000. Nothing else is getting in the way. It's $3,000.
You know what I'm thinking, Karen? I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you could start a game town at your house between the hours of 10 and 2, which is when seniors are out, and it could be drop in, charge what, 20, $30, and you got all these just games, board games, memory games, where people can sit down at a table and they can play bunco, or they can play whatever. People will come to connect with that place because, for one thing, it's small.
Yes.
Everybody doesn't want to go to a recreation center, and it doesn't feel like I'm in care. You know what I mean?
It feel like it's freedom with the people I love. And I'll
Exactly.
tell you what Terry's telling you there. At our malls, there is seniors who is in the eating area in each mall in Canada. Each mall. When Corona was there, they suffer. But see, once the ban was left, they're out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking old time stories. Some of them are playing. There's a
Yes.
section at the mall, you can't get
Yeah.
a seat. Forget it. The seniors are
Have
there
taken
early.
over with their checkers and I can see where that would be at the mall because of your weather situation.
Yes.
So, they want to be indoors once it starts snowing.
Yes.
And so they get in a pattern
Yes.
of getting to the mall, which
Yes.
makes sense because the bus probably goes to the mall regardless of
Yes.
weather.
Yes.
They don't have to
Yes.
park.
Yes.
And so all of those situations, and people, when you age, you don't want to feel like you're going to an old folks home, or you're going to an adult daycare center. But if you had a gaming situation where people came over for game time, and it could be a membership thing where they pay so much a month and they can drop in, have different packages, huh,
Yes.
Karen?
Oh, for sure. For sure. You want to
And you
have
may
different
only
packages.
take 8 people
Yes.
or less.
Yeah.
And
Because small numbers, I tell people, small numbers add up. I can't emphasize this more. Small numbers add up. Sometimes my kids, I want to knock them over the head when they tell me, Mom, I can't afford this. I can't pay for that. I'm like, because when I told you to save the money to do X, Y, and Z, you let me know you're not going to save that little bit of money. You're just going to pull it from where? Because I'm not giving it to you. Because I told you, you're working. Put $50, put $40, charge whatever. Because eventually, you know why you charge small? Is because it allows you to fix yourself into what you need to be and have and grow to. Once you understand and you do that, look, I'm going to give you this quick story. When me and my friend decided to open the daycare and we couldn't find a building to buy because we wanted to buy a building, I said to her, we're going to rent an apartment. And she said, nobody's going to rent this apartment to open a daycare. I said, okay. So then if you have that attitude, the partnership should dissolve right now. And she went away, thought about it. She came back. She goes, Caren, if you were in, I'm in. And we went and we explained to the secretary. We said, We're not gonna lie to you. We want to open the daycare. We're licensed, la da 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 da. Here's what we want to do. We want the ground floor. We could afford it.
Mm-hmm. And it was vacant. They needed the money. It sounds like a good partnership to me.
And we both had our own apartments within this compound.
Oh, all the better. Yeah.
And we've been living there for the past, me 3 years, her over 5 years. We paid our rent on time. We had no problem. Our super and our building managers loved us. And she looked us up and she said, okay, ladies, I can't, you guys gonna have to get a co-signer only because you guys already signed for apartments. You get me somebody, I'm gonna get you the apartment. That was the deal. And my friend any faint when we walk out, she held onto my hand. She said, I can't believe we got a yes.
Sometimes because it's so out of the box.
Yes.
But people are just like, that's not going to work. Nobody's ever done it.
Yes. But we did it. We did it. We had it for 3 years in that apartment. Mm-hmm. We did it. And Cecilia, you can do it too, darling. And if the rent, if the place, if whatever you think you don't have enough space, you do. We rented that apartment. And when I worked the numbers out, I realized we close it at night and nobody's there. We found a Christian girl at a Christian Bible school who needed a place to live. And we rented her that room every night. She had the room. When daycare closed at 6, she came home and she had a whole place to herself. We packed things away because it helped us with our rent so that we can be profitable from month 1. Mm-hmm. So we had by the time we got the place rented, by the time we fixed the place up, she came and see the place. We paid for parking and everything. And we rented her that room for $350 and she stayed with us for 2 years.
See?
That is good business money sense.
And I'm just saying, people want a boutique type of business. Mm-hmm. A boomer's boutique.
Yes.
Getaway. I don't know, gaming place. I don't know.
I am telling you, they would love it. Our daycare was successful because it was homey. They got in, their parents come, and it looked like an apartment. I designed it really nice. That was my forte. The colors were wonderful. The kids cried to leave the daycare to go home.
Yeah,
they loved it there.
I'm telling you, if I were of that sandwich generation where I've got the kids and then mom, and I'm taking care of both, I would pay dearly to know that mom was going to go away for a couple of hours a day and be happy, come back happy, while the kids are at summer camp. Because for me, that would be a mental vacation.
Oh, Cecilia, you're getting your ideal client right there. Terry's talking about that.
You know what I mean?
Terry's talking about that. I
want to remind you, Cecilia, that everybody ain't broke.
Do not find you in people's pocket. Don't. When you got no money, don't find you in people's pocket. If I was worth $15 an hour at a job, my business need to pay me $25. You need to see that. And people will pay. I'm just giving a reference. People will pay. People will pay easily because their story is not yours.
Exactly.
All right. I overstay my time.
There was time well spent.
Yes.
And I hope that we were able to help, our viewers.
Yes.
To seek their passion.
Yes, because that's where we're here from. We're talking passion, guys. We're talking passion. And you can see I'm very passionate about finding your passion because
that's what's going to make you smile.
Yes, and I was one of those people who found it and keep moving through it. And it changed and it stayed the same. It changed and stayed the same in terms of I still feel good. I still feel great. I am blessed to be able to help inspire, motivate, and move people forward. I've just always done that. It's just one of those beautiful things that I get to do in different forms, in just different forms. But it's doable. So next week, we're going to be talking about your health because this is important to talk about when we're sourcing and working through our passion. This part is important too. We got to look at that. We got to check on that. We got to sleep a lot. So we'll talk a lot about those stuff next week. I hope you guys enjoy this week because I'm excited to talk about it for the rest of the month.
I hope so too. I want you to know, guys, that Coach Caren's firm has been speaking to you, and she can be found on the web everywhere at Profits in Daily. So we're excited and we hope that you will follow her if you're not already doing so. Um, and I'm going to find that banner because sometimes my enunciation
Sharing
is
it.
not all it could be, Coach. Okay.
Same.
So that is Coach Caren Fern at Profits in Daily. And we want to thank you for your time, Coach. I think we
You're
have a
welcome.
comment over here. Oh, how sweet. Cecilia says, thank you for all the ideas and advice. You both are a wonderful blessing. Oh, thank you, Cecilia.
Thank you,
Thank
Cecilia.
all of those who are watching and listening. We hope we've been of service today and that we've helped you run a profitable business that's fun to run. I want you to be reminded that if you're looking to connect with Biz Chicks, you can find us at bizchicks.net where you can um, join our community. We'd love to help you with your business. We'd love to help you connect with others who are like minded. And also, every Thursday, we do a complimentary training. So, you'd want to join that community and be a part of that. And also, to actually join Biz Chicks, if you don't want to connect through bizchicks.net, you can text us at biz to 33777. So thank you again for your time. We look forward to helping you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to taking the hassle out of
Out of
your.
the hustle.
So remember that it's okay to be successful in your business
Yes.
and go to the front of your own
Your own
line.
line.
Have a great day. Bye bye, everyone.